Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks for joining me today. Take a look at me. I got on my special tie. This is a light with lightning bolts on it, little thunderstorms right there. Got my AMS pin there as well. I was out at the advanced spotters training class that they had at the airport at the aviation academy out there. We had about 100 people out there for that, and meteorologists Court Skolden and Ernie Estuno from the National Weather Service led the class. We were out there for, golly, about 2.5 hours and learned what was new with Doppler radar and some of the interesting things that are coming down the pike in terms of meteorology and weather forecasting. So very, very interesting. By the way, if you go to Bill Marino's blog, he's got a really nice discussion on what the weather is going to be like for the spring and summer. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I think it's Marino blog or something like that, but Bill Marino is his name. He is retired from the National Weather Service and is a fantastic long-range forecaster. Well, let's get into the weather. Some signs of spring at the Muskegon Channel. We've got a boat out there finally. Looks like two guys fishing. And if you look off to the left, you can see there's still some ice out on the breakwall. And if we turn the camera around the other way, you can see a big old ship moving through the channel there. Ice is out on the area lakes, including Muskegon Lake. Now, it was about 10 degrees cooler right at the immediate beach today than it was in inland areas, but it is starting to warm up. Water temperature at the one buoy that is still in the lake was at 38 degrees, so a little too soon for me to jump in the water. That picture taken at noon today, that's from the Muskegon Glurl channel. The Muskegon Glurl camera, which is at the Muskegon Channel there. Well, let's talk a little bit about climate. So far, we've had about an equal number of days that have been cooler and warmer than average. Now, if you look down a little farther, March is running about 4.3 degrees warmer than average. How can that be if we've had the exact same number or close to it of warm and cool days? Well, the cool days have only been a degree or two cooler than average, while the warm days, a lot of them have been 10 to 20 degrees warmer than average. So that's how that works out the way it is. We continue to have a windy month. We've had a handful of days when we've had gusts over 40 miles an hour, and the average wind speed for the month is a pretty healthy 12 miles an hour. Well, let's talk snow a little bit here. That's how much snow that was on the ground this morning, just a trace amount where that white was. But you can see from about the Cadillac area up to Kalkaska, Mansalona, some snow on the ground. The most snow is up toward the UP. We'll take a look at the snow stake from up at the Gaylord National Weather Service office, and they finally are down to just a trace of snow. They've had their snowiest winter ever there, and the snow may not be over yet for them, but they've had a lot of snow. And of course, with full sunshine today, we were under the clouds much of the day in the Grand Rapids area, but there was sunshine in the northern part of our state, and that strong March sunshine combined with temperatures that were around 50 melted off a good portion of the snow that was left there. But we're not over with snow. Take a look at the 72-hour snowfall map. And if you look toward upper Michigan, that dark green indicates areas that could see another 2 to 6 inches of snow here over the weekend. You can see the snow continues out in the Rockies. Here's the way it looks for the UP. We got a lot of colors there for you. And if you take a look at the right, you can see all of the activity that's going on. There's an ice storm warning, a winter storm warning, a gale warning, a winter weather advisory, small craft advisories, winter storm watch, special weather statement, and hazardous weather outlook. It doesn't make you want to go up there, does it? The ice storm warning is for two counties, for Marquette and Baraga, and those two counties could see some significant freezing rain and some pretty icy roads over the weekend. In the Keweenaw Peninsula, it's a winter storm warning. They're expecting at least several inches of snow and icy roads there. And we've got then the more bluish purple there. We've got the winter weather advisory. So again, some nasty weather. Like I said, the UP's had kind of a magnet drawing all the snowstorms and the ice storms up there in that direction here this past winter. And Painesdale has gone over 300 inches of snow for this winter, and they're not done yet. Well, more on the freezing rain. This is the percent chance of freezing rain, measurable freezing rain, 1/100th of an inch or more. And this is a long duration event. The ice storm warning, the winter weather advisory up there runs for 48 hours. It runs from 8 p.m. Friday to 8 p.m. Sunday. Right up around the Mac Bridge where the stronger colors are, you can find that's an 80% chance, or between 80 and 90%, that you will see measurable freezing rain up at the Mac Bridge. So things could get pretty icy and dicey up there. Well, let's thank our sponsors here. We'll be back for it with more details on who's going to get the heavy, severe thunderstorms. That's coming up in just a couple seconds.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Well, here's a look at our headlines. Some scattered showers will be with us here today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. It won't be raining all the time, but everybody will certainly see some rain from the system. And don't be surprised if there's a random thunderstorm. I don't think we get anything severe around here, but rumble of thunder, maybe a couple of those, certainly a possibility here this weekend. Another sign of spring. And colder weather to follow by Monday, while temperatures soar up into the 60s here today. By the time we hit Monday afternoon, it may only be in the 30s here. We've had some cold days in between the warmer days here as we've moved through the month of March. All right, here's a look at today's forecast. High temperature at 66. Now, there'll be quite a spread of temperatures over the next several days. We may see a couple of days here where it's in the low 70s south of I-94 and in the mid to upper 30s up along the Lake Superior shoreline, and even colder than that. So beware of that as you go around. The temperatures that we give you here are pretty much for the Ford Airport in Grand Rapids here. We'll have a chance of a shower right on through the period. The chance of any one spot getting rain today is about 60-65%. Winds turn to the south-southwest, bringing up the warmer, moist air at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. So just a bit brisk here during the afternoon. Monday will probably be the windiest day of the bunch. All right, look at some high temperatures here today, and you can see the difference. Three Rivers, you're at 70 degrees here. Kalamazoo, about 68. Oh, no, there's 71 down there. If I'm looking at the numbers, I'm kind of far away. But again, look up to the north, and you find Marquette ekes out 34 today. So you got 71 to 34 there. That's quite a spread of temperatures across the state. We will be on the warm side of a front that will keep our temperatures on the mild side here right on through the coming weekend. We'll move on to Saturday and show you the temperatures here. That was Saturday went by kind of fast there, but you can see Sunday's temperatures here. Oh, there we go. We're back to Saturday. Temperatures here, again, could be in the upper 60s to low 70s from Grand Rapids to the south. Cooler temperatures, much cooler as you head up into northern lower Michigan and the UP. Now we go on to Sunday, and you'll be able to see the cooler air starting to spread in a little bit as our temperatures start to drop. And I wouldn't be surprised if areas north of Grand Rapids were into the 40s by Sunday afternoon as temperatures continue to fall. Here's a look at what we expect then for the next 5 days. Chance of a thunder shower later today, 80% chance of rain today, 60% tomorrow, probably 80% on Sunday. And Monday, there could be a few snowflakes mixing in. If you're looking for a dry day with some sunshine, you'll have to wait till Tuesday. And you can see after 3 days of temperatures in the 60s, we bounce back into the low to mid 40s here into Monday and Tuesday of next week. Long range outlook, the latest one. These come in almost every day. And this, by the way, is the severe weather outlook map for Sunday. It shows the best bet for severe weather off to the south of us. We'll certainly keep an eye on things, but south of a line from about Lafayette to Cleveland, there will be a chance for some severe thunderstorms, and with the greatest threat being some rather strong gusty winds with some of those storms. All right, now the long-range outlook. Again, cool in the west and warm in the east. That'll be the story for the first week of April. In fact, the first 10 days of April. I think as we get more toward mid-April, temperatures ought to be back close to average here in the West Michigan area. So rather mild pattern shaping up here for the start of the month of April. And again, rainfall should be just a touch above average here, with the heavier rainfall totals falling in the lower Mississippi Valley from western Kentucky on down toward Louisiana, or as they say down there, Louisiana, 2 syllables. All right, from Michelle, who's working at the airport tonight, she left some graphics for us here. NCAA men's hockey championship underway, 16 teams, Western Michigan University taking on Minnesota State at Fargo, North Dakota, and came out with a win in 2 overtimes. Wow, 2-1. WMU moves on to the Elite 8 for NCAA hockey playoffs. They will play the 29th against either Minnesota or Massachusetts. So we root on Western Michigan. In terms of Michigan State versus Cornell in Toledo, Cornell came out with a win, 4-3, close game. So I think Michigan State had a good season. We wish them the best. Basketball, and we've got the Sweet 16 going on right now. Michigan State and Michigan both play later today. Michigan State's first at 7:09, and then Michigan plays at 9:03. If by some chance both Michigan and Michigan State win, they would play each other. And wouldn't that be something? An Elite 8 game featuring our 2 top teams here from the state of Michigan. The GVSU women's basketball team, this is Division II. They play at Cal State, 7 p.m. That is on ESPN Plus. I think that's a paid channel. And you can listen to them on radio, 2 stations, 1340 AM or 106.1 FM. They have a great team, and they are fun to watch. They really are, and even fun to listen to on the radio. All right, interesting notes from this day in history from Michelle. We had the 3 Mile Island nuclear generating station. It was a meltdown, maybe. I don't know if that's the exact word for it. It's not the same as what happened in Chernobyl. This was near Harrisburg in central Pennsylvania. And if we can go on to the next slide, there's more on this here. The accident released radioactive materials into the environment. There were many studies done on the aftermath of 3 Mile Island, and they were inconclusive about whether the accident's impact on cancer rates for nearby residents were a significant influence or not. So on this date back in 1990, George H.W. Bush awarded this athlete the Congressional Gold Medal posthumously, so he'd already passed away. This athlete won 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympic Games. He attended Ohio State University, and I know the answer to that one. That is Jesse Owens. My father talked a lot about Jesse Owens. My father was a big band drummer, and their band toured Europe in the late 1930s, and Jesse Owens was certainly the talk of the town, and the events that he did so well in at the Olympics there, showing up the host country at the time. All right, on this date in 1922, this Chicago radio station signed on. Its 3-letter call sign is somewhat boastful. Now, let's see if we can think this one out. I grew up in Chicago, so I'm familiar with the radio stations there. In fact, the first gig I did in broadcasting, I actually did sports fill-in on WNTH in Winnetka, Illinois, when I would have been probably 16 then. My voice had kind of changed, and I sounded older than that. But let's go through the Chicago radio stations. When I was a kid, the teenagers listened to the top 40 music on mainly WLS, and WLS is a 3-letter Chicago radio station. It stood for World's Largest Store. The other teen station was WCFL, which stood for Chicago Federation of Labor. Interesting. Now, there was WIND with Howard Miller, if I remember right. It was the DJ in the morning. And then the station that my parents listened to more than whatnot was WGN, which is a 3-letter call sign. WGN had Wally Phillips on in the morning, and he was there for quite a few years. He lived up in Winnetka where I was, and who knows, he might have listened to me on the radio. But they were usually the number 1 station in Grand Rapids. So we'll go with WGN and see. Yeah, there it is. And it's stood for World's Greatest Network. I didn't know that. World's Greatest Network, WGN. So it's interesting. The first 2 radio stations in Grand Rapids, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, were Wood, WOOD, and Wash, WASH. One owned by a lumber guy and one owned by a laundry guy. So that would make sense. All right, let's go on then and tell you what's going on this weekend. Youth Ballet, Sleeping Beauty. Boy, isn't that a great ballet and a ballet that's done by so many youngsters and teenagers. But this is at the Forest Hills Fine Arts Center. There are 3 performances on March 29 and 30. So again, this is the West Michigan Youth Ballet. And if you're looking for something interesting to do this weekend, you might want to check that out. And we have me. I don't know if I've shared this with you before, but that is the very first weather map I ever drew that was on television. We had a Boy Scout show, which was a huge deal at New Trier High School in Winnetka, Illinois. And I decided to try and set up a cable television station, essentially is what it was at the time. And I drew some weather maps and did the weather over and over and over and over that afternoon. But that was actually the first weather casting that I ever did. And again, I was probably 16 years old at the time. There is a picture of me doing that somewhere, and I'll have to share that sometime with you. I think we have one more picture to show with you. John Scully takes some great pictures for us. This is from March 24th, showing the sunset on Lake Michigan. Lake's a little choppy there, and we got the sun shining underneath the clouds right there, showing us some pretty colors. You can look down at the sun right there, and it looks like you have kind of, I don't know, it almost looks like an Oreo cookie or something like that with sunshine on the top and on the bottom. But anyhow, it's a nice slide to close on. Have yourself a fantastic day today, and I hope you have yourself a great weekend. We'll have more weather for you Saturday and Sunday.